Staying tuned with 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt, the number one talk news and sports radio station. I'm Dayo. Happy Eid al-Fitr to everyone, but especially my Muslim brothers and sisters out there. We delve into the next conversation at this time, borders on security. No doubt a very important matter, and I mean arguably, or maybe not even arguably, the most important issue in the country at this particular time. This was on the news, on our news yesterday, I do believe. The Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, has urged its members to intensify surveillance and intelligence gathering across the 23 local government areas. State Chairman of PCRC, Casca Oguso, in an interview with our correspondent, condemned the attack and killing of police officers in the state. He also called on the public to report suspicious persons to security agencies. Here's what he said to our correspondent.
We sympathize with the situation, and then we feel so sad that those who are here to protect us in country. What we are doing is on intelligence and information collaboration. We give vital information to security agencies on how to protect the civil population and all of us, even including security agencies. That we do sensitization also, telling our people to be security conscious. Keep an eagle's eye over your environment and ensure that unwarranted movements or suspicious characters are being reported immediately, because you never can tell who will be the next target. If there's a mass movement of people you don't know into your locality, it is incumbent on you as anybody to report to the nearest security agency. Let them verify and find out what such movement is all about.
Casca also said the PCRC will continue to offer logistics assistance to the security agencies to carry out their operations.
We don't carry arms. The collaboration we do with the security agencies, especially the police, is to offer assistance in terms of logistics and other necessary requirements as it is suitable to us.
All right, joining me right now via phone for the conversation on citizens' involvement or citizens' responsibilities, or what roles do they play, or how involved are citizens as far as improving the security situation or ensuring or enforcing security in our society and our environment at this time, is the State Chairman of the Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, River State Chairman, that is Casca Oguso. Casca Oguso, good evening to you. You're welcome to Hard Facts.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
You're very welcome. Now, first off, I have to ask you this. I mean, I believe first and foremost you are a human being, like most of the persons, I suppose, and very important as well, you are a Nigerian before your position as State Chairman of PCRC. So you must have a citizen's perception as to the state of insecurity in the country right now. So I need to ask, what is your perception of the security crisis that the country is bedeviled with at this time? Your position on that?
We all feel very, very worried about the situation. It is very, very unbecoming. And we want every citizen, every native, every member of every community to participate in security. It's a joint effort between members of the communities and the security agencies. Let us not leave it alone to security men. Everybody's involved. You need to be secured. Secure first before you look on to others to come in. You must have self-defense.
We'll come to the issue of self-defense in a moment. What I'd like to know is, how bad do you think things are? I mean, there's several reports out there as to security breaches across the country, kidnappings, abductions, killings, you name it, it's happening everywhere these days.
Security challenges is a global issue, but localizing it to our country alone is something that is very worrisome because it's been blown totally out of proportion. We know there are incursions by these hoodlums into some society, some community, but let us also be very vigilant amongst ourselves.
So are you saying?
So we know how to approach it.
So are you saying that it's not as bad as a lot of persons are making it out to be?
It is bad, actually. For every day you sleep and wake up, you give glory to God, you give thanks to God. But it is localized in some areas
not generally.
When you say it's localized, what do you mean exactly?
These people come like, these hoodlums come like gorillas. They just hit and run away at particular areas. And before you know, they resurface in another area. The last time it was in River State, they were hitting. Now, recently, they went to Akwa Ibom to attack some areas. So pinning them down has been a problem. I think our security agency should up the ante. They should wake up their ideas and know how to handle these things.
But don't you think?
That they may be coming in to attack those areas. It is for us to concentrate, but not on just those specific areas. We should spread our dragnet across the whole area. But we know that we don't have enough policemen to man all the points. The ratio is very, very poor, considerably. With the population of Nigeria up to 200 million, and then you have just below 400,000 policemen, but it may not be adequate. And out of these 400,000, over 150,000 are guiding VIPs and banks and so on and so forth. So you see that the 200 million or about that population of the country will grapple with just 100 and something thousand policemen, which is clearly inadequate. We need to increase the manpower.
Now, in one moment, in one breath, you talk about how the situation is being overhyped, making a mountain out of a molehill, if you will. And then in the same breath, you describe a very dire situation, which you take exactly. And I'm also quoting or paraphrasing your statement that it's a localized matter.
No, actually,
just a moment, pardon me. You also described how that it's a localized situation. Isn't that narrative also negatively impacting on the situation? Because there was a time, even though, once again, security is not a peculiar situation to Nigeria or any particular region for that matter. But then again, the scale at which we're experiencing it right now, at one time was predominant in the north, and the narrative that it was localized, not a big issue, not a Nigerian affair, was much publicized. But now, a lot of what was experienced in the north is being experienced in the south right now. So the narrative that it is localized, is that still tenable at this time? And once again, that is not as serious an issue as some persons are making it out to be.
Okay, Dayo, if you look at the northern flank, what they do, they are kidnap for ransom and then destroy, kill. But down here in the southeast and our region, they go to military or security formations to bomb, commit arson, kill people, and run away. So when I say it's localized, these are the type of attacks coming up in different regions. In the north, like we know of the headsmen, and that's the Fulani headsmen, we know Boko Haram and several others. Right here, it is been alluded that some members of this IPOB are those who are attacking military formations. When I say military, specifically police.
Attacking security. Pardon me. Attacking security stations or security installations is also a common feature in the north as well. We've heard several instances where...
No, it's more pronounced in the south here than up there. There, they outrightly go for kidnapping. If they are not successful, they attack military facilities whom they think may be obstacles to their operation.
Kidnappings happen here in the south almost on a daily basis also.
Yes. They go out here in the south here to kill policemen, steal their arms.
Yes, once again, that might be a more recent predominant venture of criminals, but kidnappings are a common feature here in the south as well. Maybe not as prominent as in the north, where you have students in their hundreds being kidnapped, but kidnapping is a common feature here in the south also.
Yes, in the south here, initially they were kidnapping oil workers, foreigners, due to one agitation or the other, which has drastically subsided compared to the northern flank. The northern flank, they go to kidnap children, school children in particular. What have they done that they needed to be kidnapped? You kidnap women, trade them off, marry them off to all these militia groups. It is uncalled for. It is not predominant in the south. I still emphatically say so.
Okay, we have to move on now.
I have never heard of any part in the south. We are praying it shouldn't happen, where they kidnap 10, 20, 30 females or students as a goal.
Even though we have had cases where a whole bus of passengers were kidnapped, which are in their 10s or 20s sometimes. However,
those ones are laid on the highway in transit. They don't go to organized formations to kidnap children, which is different from what is happening up north. All of them are crimes against humanity. It is very disturbing, very worrisome, actually.
So once again, your assessment
none is better than the other.
Once again, your assessment on how good or on how bad the situation is, as before we move on. How bad is the situation?
How bad it is?
Yes.
No, I know it is worrisome. When you hear that formations have been attacked and people killed, one life lost is a whole big disturbance to a society. Not to talk of 5, 6, 7. So it is high. There have been curfew imposed by the government so that people will receive stay back at home and monitor whatever is happening within your environment. That means it is a serious situation.
All right, you are the River State Chairman of the Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC. What is the PCRC, and what function or role does it serve precisely?
The PCRC is Police Community Relations Committee. We interface between the police and members of the public on the best possible way to protect them and their properties. So we have been interfacing between the police and the society, encouraging our members and members of the society, those communities where we live, to be very, very vigilant. We have encouraged them to set up vigilante groups, which will help the police in profiling membership of these groups before they run into bad hands. These people are those who keep watch over the securities of their respective societies and communities. And so far, they are trying. But when they are overwhelmed, that is when breaches appear like this.
All right, just for a brief moment, let's move away from the security crisis the country is bedeviled with at the moment. We'll come back to that in a moment. But just talking about your organization, the Police Community Relations Committee, and you said that your organization interfaces between the police and the rest of society, which I might describe as civilians. So, I'd like to ask you, even prior to the security crisis we are facing right now, how would you describe the relationship between security agencies, especially the police, because that's primarily your forte as the PCRC? How would you describe the relationship between the police and the rest of society, especially here in River State?
Well, there have been overzealousness on the part of the police in most areas, most circumstances. And naturally, we grew up to see the police as people we should be scared of, which ordinarily is not supposed to be. We should go close to the police, grant them food. After all, they are human beings like all of us. The difference is only the uniform they put on and the arms they carry. They are the same human beings. Like they live in the societies with us. So let us go close to them.
Why are the people? Why did we grow up? To borrow your expression, you said we grow up to be afraid. Why have we grown up to be afraid of the police?
The history of the police in the country started from free slaves who were used by the whites to collect tax and demand for one or two things from members of the society. So at the mention of a police, you are scared. We are growing now to see a modern police in our country, where members are very, very educated in different professions rather than the police currently, not as compared to before. But that phobia still in the minds of people is still there. It cannot just be erased overnight. So over time, we grow to develop a cordial relationship between us and them. But so far, it has not been rosy.
Now, you may have a point that the history of the skepticism the Nigerians feel regarding the police may go as far back as colonial times. But are you saying that it is strictly because of the history of policing in the country? Are you suggesting that nothing that the police do now, the way they comport themselves, the way they behave themselves, the way they interface or engage civilians, is responsible for how negative civilians perceive the police? You're saying that they've done nothing at this time to warrant that impression?
No. individuals differ in their opinion, which I might not be able to say.
No, I'm not describing individual opinions. When you made that description earlier on, you weren't talking about individual opinions. You described a general scenario, how that based on historical data, how the police was formed during colonial times, what purposes they served. That was not personal opinion. So what I'm asking you now is, generally speaking as well, are you saying that the police have not done anything to warrant the negative perception that a lot of citizens, civilians, even here in River State have regarding that?
The members of the police force have attracted negative responses from members of the public. Right from the word go, the Nigerian society is not fair to the Nigerian police in terms of their training and exposures and emoluments. Although it is not by force that you must join the police, it is by your own volition. But the way they are trained is making them come out as sadists. It is high time members of the public led the protest for a better emolument and a better structure of the Nigerian police. What they are going through, go to a police college where they are still using typewriters instead of computers to do work. They can never improve in their mentality.
Does that explain why a police officer, like happened recently, members of the ECRAC team would grab a Uniport undergraduate student on false accusations, threatening to kill him, take him to an ATM to withdraw 150,000 naira? Does that explain why Chima Ikurado was killed and the other Ikoko 4 were tortured? Does that explain why Nigerians have to suffer extremely at the hands of police officers for no just cause?
Well, I don't have any defense for such. It is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. But we are saying that not all members of the police. I'm not a member of the police. I don't belong to the police. I've never worked in any security agency before. But not all members of the police force are as terrible as you think. A few bad ones have stained the whole system, which is so in every other profession. There are bad eggs in every other profession. I cannot stand to defend the police because I've seen what their overzealousness has caused members of the public. That was why the NSAS protest erupted across the country. And we knew of the effect of it for both the police and members of the public. Is that the best approach we should adopt? Let us know that they have been saddled with the responsibility of securing us and the society. We should also know how to approach them. This the PCRC is doing regularly by giving public talks and giving orientation to members of the public. But you know, it is one talk, it's one thing to follow up. So we should know how to live with them. Anyone that has done any individual right, we report them. I know of a process where they have been disciplined. They use the auxiliary room trial, even though they may not make it public. The wrong ones have been disciplined.
When you say a few persons, Nigerians have heard that, and even in River State here, we've heard that for so long. A few bad eggs. I mean, if you ask the average I don't want to go as far as Nigeria as a country right now. Let's stick with River State. If you ask the average person living or doing business in River State what they encounter or their perception of the police is, they very likely would have some very sad or unfortunate story to tell. How can we put that down to just a few bad eggs?
A lot of people have very, very terrible and bad experiences on the encounter with the police.
Yes.
So also a lot of people have good experiences on the encounter with police. So we cannot be judgmental on this issue. I know that, as I told you earlier, based on general perception, it is poor.
Okay.
People's perception of the police attitude is very, very poor. So we cannot overflow that issue. We know the police has been a whipping dog all through. Anybody that has an infraction with any person who's on a uniform in the name of police, we allude it to be police. No, I have gone closer to find out that it is not the way we are seeing it. Let us change our orientation towards the police.
So what exactly, you said it's not how we're seeing it. So what exactly is the situation? Can you describe the situation?
That's what I'm trying to infer here. There are very, very good police officers who are doing the job according to the rules. There are bad ones.
Maybe the good ones and the minority?
well, the bad one, anything bad will take over the good. Look at students going to write. Let me just give you an example.
Yeah.
Students who go to write JAM or who go to write YF or GCE, teachers are colluding with them to cheat in the exam. Nobody has mentioned that.
Hold on. We do mention that when we're discussing examination malpractice and educational matters. We discuss that. Yeah. We discuss that severally, very often, by the way. But for the moment, we're discussing the security and the police.
What impact has that got on the
impact is a different matter. You're talking about discussions, so I'm saying we do discuss that every now and then as well.
Yeah.
However, a student cheating in an examination, I don't think carries the same weight as a police officer shooting a civilian for no just cause or taking them to an ATM to withdraw money.
It is totally wrong. It is unacceptable in any civilized society. Such officers should be dealt with. And then we know the system. The laws protecting the civilian and the armed man is not too strong. The National Assembly should come out with very, very good punitive measures to such people. I know the police have tried in their ways to say if you fire and say it is whatever, for whatever reason, you kill any suspect.
All right, pardon me. You say the police is doing what they can to even punish their erring members, and sometimes public may not be aware. Do you think that's appropriate, that the police are punishing erring members? Do you think that's a right strategy, and the public is not aware? No, just a moment, please. Can I finish my question, please? And do you think it's appropriate that they go through this procedure and the public is not aware? Do you think it helps their image? For example, we had the situation more recently of a student or Uniport undergrad who was extorted, robbed literally by some officers of the now defunct ICRAC team. The same ICRAC team that killed Chima Ikunade, by the way. Nothing was done to them. The ICRAC team still existed till recently when they extorted some Uniport students. A similar situation happened in Ogun State after the ICRAC Uniport student situation. Publicly, we know what happened in Ogun State. The 3 officers involved have been sacked already. They are being prosecuted as we speak. The situation here in Rivers State in Port Harcourt, the last we heard of it from the police PRO in Amdiomoni was that they were awaiting some bank statement to help in the investigation. Since then, several weeks ago, maybe even maybe 2 months now, we've had nothing as regards that matter. Does it help the police's image that the public is not aware of what they're doing to sanction erring members?
My brother, there's no judicial process that comes in the open to tell you this is the way we are handling the suspect or so on and so forth. Before it's prejudicial if you get involved to that level. They are doing their own internal investigation. At the end of the exercise, when they find out who is culpable, you are sent to court. Then it is the court of competent jurisdiction that will determine whether you are guilty or not. In the case of Chima, it was not ICRAC, it was SARS. Now SARS, the shout about SARS overzealousness is reverberated across the country so much that even the Inspector General of Police then disbanded them. This ICRAC issue, as soon as the new Commissioner of Police arrived the state, he disbanded ICRAC. And then they are already prosecuting, investigating those people found. Once they conclude the investigation, they prosecute them in court. I don't have the power, neither do you have, to condemn any of them until a court of competent jurisdiction says so. And remember, when they are sent to court, they are entitled to get a lawyer. Just like even the deceased families are also entitled to, or any aggrieved family is entitled to get a lawyer. It is not a legal battle in the court. Whichever superior argument that comes and convinces the presiding officer, that is the one that sees the way through.
Just a moment. I have to go for a break now, but just one or two things I'd like to point out. The Ikoko 5 matter was not SARS actually. It was the ICRAC squad. I'm 100% certain about that. It was the ICRAC headed by what's his name again? DSP Benson, I think that was his name. SP, I think Benson Adetui, the commander of the ICRAC team at that time. They were responsible for the Ikoko 5 matter. Now,
Okay.
but the question I was asking you is this. Do you think that it helps the image of the police if the public does not know what they are doing to sanction erring officers? That's my question.
Well, at the end of the investigation, they send these people to court. It is now the court that will follow up. The police duty ends there. It is the court. It may not be good. Image is the way you see it, or the way I see it, the way the individual or the public sees the image. Although it may be wrong on the image-wise on the police, most of the thing we forget to know is the police does not pass judgment on any person. It is the court.
So did the Ogun State Police Command do a bad thing by letting the public know that they fired 3 officers for extorting a student of 150,000 naira?
I did not follow up that matter, so I will not be in a proper position to talk on it.
All right, we have to go for a break right now. We'll return shortly. Conversation will continue. My conversation with Mr. Casca Oguso continues. He's the state chairman of the PCRC. We're discussing citizenship involvement in ensuring or providing security. Stay with us. We'll be right back in a bit.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers. Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 08.
Hard Facts with Dayo.
Okay, I'm actually Hard Facts 91.3 Nigeria Info and here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dayo. I've got joining me for this conversation our State Chairman of the PCRC, that's the River State Police Community Relations Committee, Casca Oguso. Hello, you're welcome once again to the show.
Thank you, Dayo.
Yeah, and we're discussing citizenship involvement in security in the country, of course, with specificity to River State. The lines will be open shortly. You can join the conversation, however, for now, via Twitter. We're live on Twitter, I've been told, at Nigerian for PH, also facebook.com/Nigerian for PH. WhatsApp on 0809 0306416. Now, I'd like to ask you this. What is the role of the citizen? We've had ever so often that security is everyone's business, is everyone's responsibility, is not for the police or security agents or agencies only. What is the role of the citizen in ensuring or contributing to a safe and secure environment?
Thank you, Dayo. I think one of the major roles of the citizen is information, proper information dissemination. Give proper information to the security agent, to the police, and then they will follow up from there. A lot of people have been scared that giving information to the police, they will come back to report to the suspect, and then you are in danger. It is not so. Go to the station, look for a superior police officer, give him relevant information that can help apprehend these hoodlums or miscreants. One, let us know that these people of questionable character, they live amongst us. They don't come from space. So we know them. We know those who are living wonderful lifestyles that are very, very questionable. We can also pass such information to security. The so-so person goes out in the night, comes back in the morning for no genuine reason. The police will follow it up. Not just all of us sitting down thinking that if you have an armed robber within us or a criminal within us, you don't want to talk. Instead, the police come. The police is not a magician to know the workings of everybody just by faith. Somebody may be a clergyman today, and in the morning, in the night, it turns to a different thing. So it's left for us who live with these people to pass relevant information across. Information is key to security management in any society.
If there's a trust deficit between the police and the citizens, how is this going to work?
You mean what?
If there is a trust deficit between the civilians and the police, you and I agreed. We agreed just a while ago that there are issues between, in terms of relations between the police and civilians. You trace that back to as far back as the colonial times. But the fact is, even whatever it was that existed then, or whatever it is the police may have done now, there is a trust deficit. The relationship between the police and civilians is strained at best. So if there is a trust deficit, how can that communication or liaison happen?
It will definitely be good. I think the police need to do some more work on their image. The police, they have public relations officers, media men within the rank and file. They need to do some more work on public acceptability of their roles in securing the society. They need to do some more work. We all agree on that. I agree on that.
All right,
they need to do some more work so that people will accept them.
Take a few calls now, 0817-923-0002 or 0003 or 0007 number to call. We're live on Twitter at Nigerian for PH. Let's get your take. WhatsApp is on 0809 0306416. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Yes, Nigerian Info.
Hi, go ahead.
Yes, I would like to remain anonymous.
Go ahead, please.
For example, it's a chair where I'm coming from. This UK police station, I know some body gangs in Naples in a chair working with GPO, okay? And this are released to commercial police concerning these people, concerning the teacher of GPO, okay? But still nothing is that have happened.
Okay, great to hear from you, sir. But sadly, we can't verify your claims right now. So, but good to hear from you. Though. Thanks for calling in. We've got about 16 to go before 5 o'clock. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Yeah, Dayo, good evening.
Hi, go ahead.
Sorry, first of all, I want to tell my condolences to all the police officers who have lost their life recently. But your guest in the studio is making me feel or wanting to ask if it's a Nigerian. Let's just fix the fact that you're a caregiver in the remind home or school or wherever. Does that give you any right to molest sexually any female person in that place? No. That because you secure lives and property, does it give you the right for people to suffer in your hands? No. Because all the things you need are not provided. Is it our fault? We are contributing our quota by order of task. We have mandated people to take charge of it. That's why we are paying for all these services. Then how come? Let him go and find out. Is there any case like he's trying to forget about agreeing this part? You've asked several questions, and he said the police station with any victim just with turning down a bail bond without passing away with £1. This police station, can you just allow people to come and say, okay, I just went and released someone down a bail bond and let the person go? So what are we saying? What are we saying? Let's say the truth. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, 90.3.
Hello, Dayo.
Hi,
I
go ahead.
want to remain anonymous.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I don't know why you are serious in this country. You have been asking him a question which we are there to provide solutions. I believe that we are there to provide solutions to the problem that we have at hand. And you ask him a question concerning how do people trust police? And you want us to come to police and lay our reports where they have not changed. On daily basis, the things that they did before the end start, they are still doing it. And you want us to come and report if you have if you have somebody that maybe a character that you should come and compensate with. Sometimes I don't know if we want to solve problems in Nigeria or we just want to play politics over it. Thank you.
Okay. 913. Hello.
Hello, Dayo. Good evening.
All right, go on.
I want to remain anonymous.
Go ahead, please.
You can see that the mindset of your state is the same mindset that the police need to follow everybody. People have lost trust on the police, and that is obvious. I am the son of a police officer, a retired police officer. I went to meet a DPO at Saboro Road. He told me that the police my father was in. It's no longer the police that is existing now. When they arrested my younger brother to release him. So please, they have to go back home and see what they can do. In fact, they have to be honest. You saw when Chief Ekulado was killed. You saw and the money was talking about the whole thing. I think nothing happened. And we are still having more of that. If you go back to the drawing board and come back with honest procedures, otherwise, they will never get the trust of the public. Nobody can walk into the police and give them information because when you give them, you will die the next day. Thank you very much.
Okay. Casca, Oguso, do you have any responses to the calls that have come in so far?
Well, I would have asked a question to say, do we now, because of the people's perception of the police, do we disband the police? Oh, if you disband the police, then hire armed robbers and say the difference, which is totally out of place. I know I have said it. A lot of police officers are men of questionable character. This is from their home training. For any child to be good or bad, it starts from the home. You don't package a rotten boy or a rotten child from the home and send him to public. And
in other words, the police has recruited people with bad home training.
Most of them.
Okay. So the homes, so the families are responsible for the bad upbringing. So the families are responsible for the bad police officers that we have.
Everybody that is bad is from your family upbringing.
Okay.
We have abandoned the roles of good parenting now in chase of money. Everybody is after money and big offices to occupy and so on and so forth, big contracts to win. We have abandoned the home. Some children don't even know their parents. They leave early in the morning when they are still asleep, come back when they have gone back to bed. Nothing like control. Your child misbehaves at home, he comes back to society, you blame the society. He is walking in. It is wrong. Let us start with our background from home. A thief is a thief. He cannot change. Those days when you steal, you are a total disgrace to the whole family.
So how is the police how is the police recruiting thieves and kidnappers and murderers and marauders? How is the police doing that?
I did not say so.
No, that's exactly what you're saying. Actually,
look, I am saying, look, it goes across all the professions.
Let's leave other professions for a moment. Let's talk about the police. So what you're saying is that the police is recruiting thieves, marauders, kidnappers, and murderers because the families brought them up that way. So the police decided to absolve them.
No, I did not say so. Don't misquote me, Dayo, please.
Okay.
I don't want to be misquoted. I didn't say so at all. And I will never say so.
So what are you saying?
I am saying that for every society, every profession, if you are bad from home, you extend same to wherever you are working. After all, recently in Kwara State, a medical doctor, certified medical doctor, was caught for robbery. He was storing arms and ammunition for robbers. And so by implication, he's in. One of the big billionaires from Anambra State, Chief Odumukwe, who was killed, it was a medical doctor trained in Dublin, Ireland, overseas, that perpetrated the whole act, butchered the man. So once you are bad, you are bad. That is what we are saying. In no way am I saying that all 100% what the police is doing is good. No. But there's some bad elements there are painting the police black. We have to wrap up the conversation.
We have to wrap up the conversation right now. Final question to you, and very quickly, please. Do you think that if the police had a better relationship with the citizens, some of the attacks on them across the country and in Rivers State may have been prevented?
Well, it would have been better. Relationship. I'm a relationship person. Once you build a cordial relationship, the trust is there. But what is happening now supersedes or outgrows whatever relationship we think we have. After all, those going to police stations to burn and kill, they did not select the bad eggs out.
Thank you very much for your time, but that's too much that I can take. I'm pressed. I do have to move on right now.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate Casca Oguso is State Chairman of PCRC in Rivers State. Join the conversation on citizenship involvement in security. Many thanks for your time. We've got the news coming up. Right now, discussions continue afterwards. Do please stay with us.